very broken at the moment, so normally is banned on the B side. Never really banned on the A side, but banned on the B side. There's the X out taking their time. But what do you think about this Grace ban by Ganked by Parents? I would have thought they would have possibly have banned either a Blackfeather or a Ringo as their first ban, and then look to maybe pick up Grace.
Maybe they're just a little bit worried if they're not, their team isn't as confident. Maybe they're trying to pick up something else. We're not sure, but...
Yeah, that's true. They have gone for the Churn Walker. Maybe they are strategizing towards a comp that is based around the Churn Walker. Churn Walker is quite strong, does have a couple of weaknesses. However, X-Out do pick up the Arden, and it's going to be really interesting, Cats and Pizza, what they do. They ban Samuel. I've seen some very strong Samuels and does provide a lot of AoE damage. So taking that away from Ganked by Parents is a good choice.
Especially with if they did get the Samuel there, he's very, very deadly with the churn, especially with his aerial damage. So I think that's a good ban on the X outside there.
Yeah. So a second ban coming out is Ringo by Ganked by Parents. And actually, yeah, that does... It does flicker a memory in my head. The last time I saw Ganked by Parents play, I casted him. Oracle was on that Samuel, and he was, and I quote unquote disgusting on that Samuel. But so a very good target ban by Exa as they pick up Vox as their second pick. And we'll see. I think Baron is going to be picked up by Ganked by Parents because Baron is strong right now, and with the basic damage in late game does provide a lot of AoE damage, and with the Churn Walker could be very dangerous.
Especially, I think the Baron will be good going into Vox, jumping in and out too. But they pick up Blackfeather here. We'll see if they put it into jungle or if they go into the lane with that there.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that it's gotten to the fourth pick between the two teams before Blackfeather is being picked up. Obviously, both teams recognize how strong as it's Blackfeather Rona. What do you make of that, Cats and Pizza?
I see no range, but if they can make the damage happen and they can get correctly onto that box, with the Baptiste, that stun might be a little bit difficult, but we'll have to see. So
they've gone for the Baptiste, so that does provide a good bit of CC for the enemy team, but what I'm a little bit afraid of is that there's only so much you can, that there's only so many engagements that you can stop with the Baptiste. Yes, Baptiste is very strong with a build of like Dragon's Eye, Clockwork, but when you have a Churn Walker that's going to be hooking on the chains and a dive heavy comp of Blackfeather Rona, are Ganked by Parents are X-Out going to be able to control that?
I'm not sure. That's going to be a lot of damage out coming by Ganked by Parents, and if they get the damage on the correct person and 1, 2, 3 get them all, it might be GG, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
We will have to see indeed, and again, chat in game, on stream, should I say, get your hashtags of Ganked by Parents, hashtag X-Out, and who you want to see win this first game of the best of 3 series. I am super psyched as we just load all the players. I wasn't in the party, my humble apologies. I'm now in this party. I was just so hyped I forgot to accept the invite. So, based on the draft that we've seen between these two teams, Cats and Pizza, who do you think has the strongest draft going into this game?
The strongest draft, I'm going to have to say probably coming out with Ganked by Parents there, with just so much damage coming in the 4 to 5 health from both of those. I think it's going to be pretty deadly.
Yeah, it is. But one thing I do slightly not necessarily worry about, but you got to have on your mind is that presuming 99% chance, and I'd be very, very surprised if it wasn't, is that it's going to be a CP Blackfeather, and CP Blackfeather takes a couple of items to ramp up, is very much a slow late game scaling hero. And do you think that maybe if X-Out are a little bit more aggressive, they could look to shut down not just a Blackfeather, but then Ganked by Parents as a whole?
I think also their Vox is going to come in really, really scary. with all just kind of bouncing around with getting up stacks because they're all kind of melee. I think that's also going to be pretty hectic for the other team. So we'll have to see. The game's starting off now.
Yeah, so we do see what I'm interested, of course, of what will be most likely standard rotations from both teams. Go for the backs, then look to head towards a mid-century or mid-treant on the level 2 of both teams. Pretty standard stuff. Turnwalker is strong early game, cats and pizzas with those hook and chains, looking to possibly get onto Vox and Batiste, and then it's going to be interesting what we're going to see. Bevo is a very strong captain hero, played fantastic in the last series that I casted. As I said, Oracle impressed me with the Samuel. Hasn't got the Samuel in this game, but we'll see what he's going to be able to do on this Blackfeather, as it's a slightly quicker rotation coming out by Ganked by Parents, as they do look to engage onto and push away X out, and now they are going to be able to secure this mid-century. So is this what we're going to see throughout this whole game? Cats and pizzas, the aggression coming out by Cats and Parents. Ganked by Parents, should I say? Cats and Parents? Sorry.
That's okay. I'm thinking that it was kind of a smart idea by oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the other team's name. By X out. So sorry, X out. I thought it was kind of a smart idea there for them to back off, but there's another fight kind of coming in now.
Yeah, there is, and Turnwalker does have his hook and chains onto the enemy team, and now, look, Rona and Blackfeather are going to be able to secure. They try and steal the enemy backs with Rooted by Quasic, and now he's going to be able to jump onto the Smurf, but is stunned by the Ordained. And again, Ganked by Parents, they're just stealing the enemy farm. I would, very clever now, as if we do look to focus on Natural Frequency, has taken the clever move on X outside to look to steal the enemy jungle. Blackfeather does spot him. Oracle is now going to look to maybe jump onto the Vox, but no, Vox goes into the bush and does secure it. And now the lane is pushed on the side of X out towards Ganked by Parents. So that's, good aggression coming out by Ganked by Parents in the early stages, but I gotta give props to X out.
Same I was thinking there with X out, how they just decided to back off a bit, knowing that Churn is really, really strong early game and that Bevo's really, really good on him. So I think it was kind of a smart idea just to back off, push the farm forward, and he did successfully take the farm from the other team, so that was good too.
Yeah. That is good, but now the mid-century is again secured by Ganked by Parents. Oracle on level 4, Bevo on level 3 already, so he is a level ahead of the Batiste and does steal the jungle of X out now. Now they are going to jump onto the Batiste with the pull coming out from the Turnwalker, and with the Fate of Heart secures first blood for Ganked by Parents onto this Batiste. So this is good stuff, and now the lane is pushed. Natural Frequency is under a little bit of pressure at one point, comes down, but the Vanguard followed by the Healing Flask does help to keep Natural Frequency alive.
I was getting a little bit worried when I saw Natural Frequency's health there, but they kept it together, and it looks like the team just backed off, but I was a little worried he was so low there. But it seemed like Arden's Vanguard came in very strong and helped out there.
Yeah, exactly. That just means Quasic is going to be stopped from porting back by the Bad Mojo again. Good Smurf, very clever stuff. But now that does mean that the rotation by XL is a little bit slow. It's behind Ganked by Parents. Ganked by Parents are playing a very structured game, aggressive, but making sure that they are not stepping out of line a little bit too much, Cats and Pizza.
I thought that was a really smart move by Good Smurf, because Q didn't get to go back. He's unfortunately kind of stuck there because the farm just kept building and building.
And now Natural Frequency face checks the bush, and Oracle does go in onto him, does on point, and now is going to jump in with the Fate Hard and sort of secure that second kill onto the Vox, with the Crystal Sentry just not being able to help that Vox a little bit too much. And look at this great rotation coming out by Ganked by Parents. They're going to push this wave and look to maybe secure this first turret in under 5 minutes. Now Oracle is on his own, but he's going to be under a little bit of pressure with both the Iron and the Batiste. On point comes out, Heat Flask comes out, but no, the Bad Mojo secures the kill onto the Black Feather.
And Bevo kind of just walking out there makes it a little bit strong back to the start. Q's still going there too.
It does make you think, Cats and Pizza, if Quasic had stayed with Oracle, do you think they would have maybe done a lot better push onto a turret and even secured it?
They could have gone a lot farther. I was actually surprised he did walk back there. He just kind of left the team, and Blackfeather was just kind of stuck in the stun and left to fall.
Yeah, and we see that Vox is being shut down by Quasic, and now it does leave Good Smurf on his own, and he's vanguarded just to get him away behind Turf. So Quasic is holding his own up in lane on 46 CS. He is over 20 CS ahead of this Vox. And that is really fantastic stuff coming out by GankedByParents. As we do see, the Black Feather is going to go onto the Batiste now in jungle with the Crystal Sentry doing damage onto Oracle, but Oracle secures the kill onto Batiste. GankedByParents, thank you very much for providing us some awesome aggression action in this early game. Quasic securing the first turret and does into the fray, out of the fray, away into safety, Captain Pizza.
As well as picking up the sentry there at the bottom. They are so aggressive in the other jungle. Oh my goodness.
So look, what do you think X-Out need to do to kind of like get back into this game? Because they are nearly 5k goalie behind in only less than 7 minutes. But no, I'm gonna have to pause that on to you as we do see the Batista shut down by the Black Feather and the Rona together, and that's a double kill coming out from Black Feather, and it does secure the ace to GankedByParents, and now they're not only going to be able to push this wave and possibly take down another turret, they're going to be able to take down the gold mine and secure even more of a goalie, Captain Pizza. Fantastic team play coming out from GankedByParents.
GankedByParents, oh my goodness, all the hype. They're coming in strong. Just taking the payout collected there. And wow, that's so much gold lead ahead of them. Almost 7k now.
X-Out just they're under a lot of pressure. They just gotta be careful. X-Truth is now Quasic ordained, but now he is going to be able to get onto Batiste. Fearsome Shade just hold back, and Quasic has to back off now, but that's not going to stop Oracle and Bevo from just kind of jumping in. Hook and chains going on, trying to share that damage as much as possible, and now GankedByParents are just going to look to back away. The Ordain comes out, Fountain comes out on the side of X-Out, as they just are going to have to be careful and back out, and that was really, I'm kind of surprised because I felt that, one, that Fountain was just a little bit early that came in from X-Out, but I actually felt they had the better of that team fight because, Rona had really backed off for GankedByParents and only left Blackfeather and Churnwalker. Do you think that X-Out should have pushed that, or do you feel that they just would have been baited, Cats and Pizza?
Especially with using the Fountain, I think that they should have pushed that. Q was so low, and he was basically leaving the fight, and if he were to go and get some more health, I don't think he would have made it back in time for a team fight, and I think they might have dominated there, but we won't know. We won't know.
We won't know. Well, we will find out, as you do see Oracle jumping onto Good Smurf as he does ordain Oracle, but it's not enough because he is just going to be able to rose offensive into Good Smurf. The on-point damage, securing the kill onto the Batiste, and now he's going to be able to go onto Truth on the iron, but is he on point? Faint to Heart does the double kill damage onto the Arden, and look at that now, absolute domination now with Quasic. Wants a kill of his own, doesn't want to let the Blackfeather hog all the kills because it is 9-1 onto GankedByParents as they secure the sentry kill. Again, that leaves only one life. Captain Pizza, I do apologize. I'm not able to give you much to talk about simply because we are having complete action and domination by GankedByParents, Cats and Pizza.
And that's totally okay. This is so much hype. This game is insane, and I see Gauntlet coming out.
It is blocked, but the Fearsome Shade does do its job as Oracle is just securing the kill, dominating this match. Natural Frequency, double kill coming on to the Arden, and is he going to go for the triple kill? Oh no, he does miss his on point, but it doesn't stop him getting fountained up, getting the triple kill, and another ace for GankedByParents.
Oh my goodness, Imperium. I can't even believe this dominance coming out by GankedByParents. They're just almost going for the choke turret, and it's only not even 10 minutes in.
Oh, the trespass came out to stun the Batiste, and he got shut down so violently, and now the wait for it comes out, but it's not going to stop the turret from going down. That is a choke turret taken out, and it looks like they're going to go for the Crystal Sentry, eliminate that. That will just help secure their map dominance, Cats and Pizza.
And as well taking their farm, just walking away. There's no more sentry on the side of X out.
They're
very, very dominant.
They are very dominant, very good stuff coming out from them. Just real quickly, I want to touch on the breaking point first item pickup by the Vox. I thought it would have been a poison shift first item coming out from the Vox. Do you think that's kind of gone against him? I'm going to have to hold that thought, though, as the Vox decided to cut out by the Rona. He's going to have to try and go around this map. But look at Blackfeather. Blackfeather's ready here to secure the kill, and he does onto the Vox. Absolutely fantastic stuff, Cats and Pizza. Now, I do think that GankedByParents are going to possibly secure the gold mine. No, Oracle is just hungry. He's hungry. He wants to be fed onto the enemy team, as he's not stopping him. He does block the fearsome shape. Great reflexes coming out from Blackfeather, and Oracle does now back off because he knows that bad mojo is just going to do a chunk of damage onto him if he's not careful. So yeah, breaking point first item coming out for natural frequency. Do you agree with it or do you not agree with it?
I think Poison Shiv would have been a little bit of a better item, kind of slowing down the oh, there might be another fight coming in here.
Yeah, as the Bevo does pull in the Arden, but the Arden is going to be able to vanguard away. And I decide to feel like GankedByParents, they have over a 13k gold lead. And I don't want to say a game is over before it's actually over, because I do firmly believe that it's not over till the Vain Crystal is down, but you cannot deny how much of a stronghold and a grasp GankedByParents have on this match by just easily being able to go for the gold mine when all of X-Outs are still on this map.
I think Bevo's vision also has kind of been key too. It helped the Blackfeather kind of spot out when the Vox was coming, and it's not a lot of vision, but it's more vision than what the Arden had. So I think it's definitely been helping them too.
It has, but we are seeing this engagement now. Blackfeather is going to be able to secure the kill onto the Arden, but the Churnwork also secures the kill onto the Batiste, and Blackfeather takes out the Vox, and that's another 8. And look at this map dominance. They just 17-1, Cats and Pizza. Aces, minions are just bearing down onto their turret. On point going down. They should look now to split the turret damage between the Blackfeather and the Rona, and maybe even take this game down in 13 minutes. They're just going to focus on this Vain Crystal. Just ignore the trespass. Comes to stun down. No, they're going to secure the kill on the Batista now. Look to take down the Vox. No, the Vox is going to be able to pour back into base and just to kind of just heal up, but that doesn't stop the Blackfeather and the Churnwalker securing, taking down the Vain, and that is first game to GankedByParents, Cats and Pizza.
Good game. Oh my goodness. So much dominance coming out there from GankedByParents. Oh my.
I am so impressed by how they approach this game, because I said it was a little bit risky, Cats and Pizza, let's say, having a Blackfeather in CP because he's kind of late game, but no. Argo's like, no, screw late game for Blackfeather. I'm taking him into the early game. I'm showing you guys that I can do it. So, but I want you to kind of like, what kind of mistakes did X Out make as a kind of team and whole that kind of didn't help them getting dominated by GankedByParents?
Some things that I think they could have helped on was just kind of focusing on their farm. There was points where the Vox was just overstepping so far, and if he just kind of stayed by his turret because he was so low on farm, if I think he just stuck by his turret and kind of just kept farming up, they might have been able to come back in some items there, but I think the fact that they just kept kind of getting aced didn't really help.
Like, I'm so hyped, Cats and Pizza. I'm having to take my jacket off. It's 3:40 in the morning. It's cold in Ireland, but no, I'm so hyped that it's heating my body up. This is just immense stuff. And look, we're just gonna try and get set up into the draft for the second game. And I want to ask you, what different strategy do X Out have to take into the second draft to try and help them take it to a third game series?
I'm thinking that Blackfeather shouldn't get slipped through the draft so far. I think that the Blackfeather this patch is so overpowered, and I really, really think that wasn't a very good idea for neither side to ban them.
Yeah, exactly. And do you think that maybe X Out should go for maybe, sometimes an attitude of fight fire with fire can work in your favor. If you get shut down by an enemy team in the first game, Cats and Pizza, that you kind of go, okay, well, anything you can do, we're going to do better. So maybe X Out should go for a more aggressive early game comp. Don't worry about having the Vox that's kind of mid to late game. Go for something aggressive, like maybe, Weapon Bar, Blackfeather, Koshka, that kind of comp that's just going to try and shut down and surprise GankedByParents early game. Do you think that might be a good idea?
I think it would be a good idea too. I think the Baptiste pick as well just it wasn't as strong as it could have been. They had so much aggression coming out from GankedByParents that Baptiste kind of didn't have enough damage. So I think, like you said, if they kind of get a jungler that has a lot of damage output, I think it might go well in their favor.
Exactly, and that's, it's just interesting to see how each team are going to go into the second game. The last time GankedByParents played, they also won 2-0, but that was the last game, and we're going to see what is going to happen in the second draft as we are into it. Again, hype, chat, get your hashtags out for each team you want to see win. Hashtag X Out if you want to see X Out win. Hashtag GankedByParents if you want to see GankedByParents take this second game and take this series. But X Out, they are on the left-hand side for the second game. They've taken out the Chur Walker. They feel like that was such a strong pick. It's got to be Varia banned by GankedByParents, surely.
Surely it has to be. She's so overpowered.
Yeah, exactly. But look, if you presume it's Varia, what do you think X Out should follow with?
I'm thinking with that Blackfeather. The Blackfeather this patch is so strong, and seeing that they have a free range for anything, and you can kind of play Blackfeather carry or jungle, so it's kind of a flex pick to pick up, I think would be a good idea.
Yeah, it definitely would be, but they've gone for the Arden first pick. Okay, Arden is strong, but you've got to recognize that that's not the reason why, X Out lost. That's not the reason why GankedByParents won, as GankedByParents go for a cruel first pick, and it's straight away they ban the petal. I feel like GankedByParents have a strategy, have something in their heads that they're gonna go for something different.
I think GankedByParents also have somebody subbing in for Bevo right now too for this game, so might be a little different draft as they have kind of a different guy coming on their team, so maybe they're working around that.
Yeah, exactly. And now Blackfeather is banned by X Out. I think that's clever, but we see a Ringo picked up, and what's interesting is it going to be a double weapon power comp by GankedByParents, or is it going to be a CP weapon power? As X Out do secure the Taka, does help counter against the Ringo, but what have X Out got to pick as their last pick to try and get them back into the series?
And they have about 15 more seconds left, so we'll have to see what they pick up. But Ringo this patch, with that spell sword, I think he's so strong. His B comes up so constantly, and I really, really think that GankedByParents are gonna. That's a good choice by them.
So push, so take turret, so win, so just dominate, and that is really interesting stuff. I do feel that X Out might be exposed, but Flicker, GankedByParents, what are you doing to me? Are you trying to give me a heart attack with this off-meta pick? Are you trying to drive me crazy? Are you trying to set my house on fire with this pick? This is amazing stuff. Cats and Pizza, what do you make of those last two picks from the two teams?
The Saw, like you said, pushed a win. Hopefully, it can help X out maybe get that win if they can really, really focus on the farm and push far this time. And the Flicker, I'm a little shocked at, but like we said, new captain on the team, so maybe that's who he prefers, and it'll definitely help with the Saw there too, slowing him down.
Yeah, exactly. Bite Man Dog is part of the Vaguely Insane Guild, a fantastic guild and a fantastic guy within that guild. So I'm really interested in what he is going to bring to Ganked by Parents. You know, the different gameplay that we're going to see. And Flicker as a hero has really gotten a couple of buffs over the past couple of patches, Cats and Pizza, as I think Vainglory are just trying to bring him to kind of shut down this Flicker.
You kind of cut out a little bit there, but that's okay. I think you were going off about the Flicker, and the Flicker, I think it's going to be, like you said, they've been patching him up a bit more and a bit more. I think it'll be interesting when 5v5 comes out, bigger map, and just having that more vision aside from the turrets that you get as well should be interesting. So it's kind of cool that they're playing Flicker, so we can see some Flicker play that maybe we can bring into 5v5.
Yeah, exactly, and you know it's great to see these off meta picks, and even the Saw, as strong as Saw is, he kind of got nerfed over the past couple of patches and fell off the meta slightly. So to see him come out from X out with the Arden and the Taka, they could have a really strong mid game because Saw is going to be looking to push the turret. That will cause Cruel to come up the lane. If X out do these rotations smoothly and nicely, they could really push Ganked by Parents to their limits.
And the one thing I'm still a little confused or concerned is it going to be a CP Cruel or a Weapon Cruel or CP Ringo or Weapon Ringo? We kind of touched on that, but we never really came back.
I think with a Saw, I think it's going to be a CP Ringo. And what's interesting is I actually think it's going to be a Aftershock CP Ringo first item that will give him just that little bit extra proc on his basic attacks, maybe just help him kind of secure kind of mid game once he hits his Aftershock. But time will tell. We are loading into this match. I've calmed down a little bit, but no, I haven't calmed down enough. I'm still hyped, guys, and I want you in chat to be just as hyped. As I said, get your hashtags out there to let us all know who you want to win. Hashtag XOut, hashtag Ganked by Parents. If you're just joining us, Ganked by Parents won the first game in this best of 3 series. We are on to the fold. Praise be Lord, we are on to the fold for the second game, Cats and Pizza. And see, what's interesting is now Natural Frequency is going straight to the lane. X out, I think that's a good strategy by them. Saw push, Saw win, Saw take third, Saw take over.
I think it's a good idea too. And look at him there using his little, going right on in there and getting some farm, and might give him the one up on the other team.
It might, and but what we do see is that the Flicker is taking the two little minions on the side of X out. Not super important. It does help increase a slight bit of goal in Ganked by Parents. But look at this third Saw is just not being afraid, and that means Oracle is going to have to rotate up. But is he going to be exposed? Yes, he is exposed. First Blood goes over to the side of Ganked by Parents. I liked what Saw was trying to do with the suppressing fire. But when you're left on your own, there's only so much push you can do. I don't understand why now Arden is exposed by both the Flicker and the Cruel. Cruel's just looking up to build up his smite stacks. And good Smurf does get off the heal flash just to kind of secure his safety. So there's a good little bit of farm food for Natural Frequency, but he is kind of being attacked by these minions. Never underestimate the damage that the minions can do, Cats and Pizza.
I think it's also this Flicker kind of just rotating in the background behind, knowing where everybody is, and there they go in on the Saw. and he
They
goes
take
down.
down the Saw, and that is just the rotations we want to see by Ganked by Parents. They're now going to look to take out the enemy jungle and look to just kind of steamroll this match. Flicker and Crew could be one strong pairing going into 5v5, as you mentioned, and now Ringo is looking to push lane. A good Smurf, I think, seems a little bit confused and lost on this Arden right now. He needs to refocus, try and help support his sword that wants to push. Natural frequency on the soul wants to push, and Arden needs to support him. As the Flicker is just in the bush, scouting out, is just kind of playing with the all of XR team right now. Bite Man Dog on this Flicker in the stealth is the sub for Ganked by Parents, is out to prove his worth as a captain pizza.
And I like how he didn't, when the Arden was going back, he had the chance where he could have exposed him and made him not go back, but he said, you know what, I'll just wait. If I expose myself, that Saw might be deadly. So I kind of like how he just kind of just let it be, just kind of stealth in the bush, little Flicker style there. I liked that.
Exactly, yeah, because what can help snowball the team when you have Flicker is not necessarily outright engaging on the enemy team, but using the strengths that Flicker has to scout out the enemy team, especially when they're against Ataka. So Bite Man Dog is with the Cruel and Flicker jump onto the Saw, and there's nothing Saw can do because Saw is shut down straight away by the Flicker. Flicker gets the kill, but Oracle is now trying to stay onto Taka. Taka goes into Kaku and just looks the basic attack onto the Cruel, and now Flicker's just in the bush. Flicker's just stealthing around, making sure that he can keep a vision onto Truth on the Taka, as Oracle does with the blood contract coming out just to do that extra damage onto Truth. And that's one thing I want to talk about. The Dragon Blood contract on Flicker, similar to when it's on the Fortress, makes the Flicker so dangerous in this early game, Cats.
Because he's very quick when he's in stealth mode, right? So he can easily, just like the Fortress, catch up to kind of where the fight's at and give his team.
Just to cut you off there, we're seeing it again. Bite Man Dog. There's no vision from the Arden. Yes, Good Smurf has got the fountain in this 4.5 minute mark, which isn't a bad thing, and potentially has a reaction that can go their way, but he's got to get vision out against the Flicker, because when you are a Flicker who has also fountain already, as Ganked by Parents are nearly 2k gold ahead already in the first under 5 minute stage, you got to get vision out against the Flicker. You cannot let the Flicker just roam free, ganking from your own jungle, as he does go onto Taka and just stun him with his ability. And now the Crew and the Ringo are gonna jump onto Taka. Taka can't get away. He's not gonna be able to. Oh, Kaku, but the Vanguard comes out from Hellsfire. It's gonna go onto Taka. It's gonna secure the kill. It does, as the Crystal Sentry is now gonna look to be shut down, taken out for the first time in just under 5.5 minutes. Sentry defeated. There's not really much XL can do in this early stage. You're just going to try and hold her own as Swords. Just going to try and jump in, but he's taken out by the Ringo. Ringo being super aggressive on his side of Quasic, as they do look to increase their goal lead. But one thing is now, outside of taking the Crystal Sentry, they do need to increase their objective focus, Cats and Pizza.
They do. Like last game when they were taking all the sentries, they did have more turrets, but they don't seem to have a turret yet. So it's still good. It's not a bad thing to get it, but they definitely need to focus on some more objectives as they're getting these kills, kind of moving forward.
Definitely, because, even though Saw is an early game hero, Taka is strong in this mid stage. Yes, he hasn't got his aftershock just yet, as Bite Man Dog is just in the bush looking to have his Will-O-Wisper perk out there. Good rotation coming out by Natural Frequency, just trying to catch an Oracle and Bite Man Dog, and this is slightly bounced up by XL. Oracle goes in onto Taka and Truth, and now onto Saw, and Saw just with the Binding Light coming out with the Fairy Dust just helping to secure the kill onto Saw. Now Taka does boots out of the way, use a Reflect Block just to try and help secure his safety. And now what is really good by Ganked by Parents, instead of necessarily chasing or trying to chase the kill onto the Taka, they just take out the Crystal Sentry because it's an objective, Cats and Pizza.
And also knowing that the Taka had to go back, so they picked up all the farm there as well.
Exactly, and now Roddy Run, sorry to cut you off there, Roddy Run was just not able to help secure the saw. Where is the vision? Where is the vision? I know I'm a captain and I don't like to see that spammed out towards me, but my god, good Smurf, get some vision out there for your team because it's the only way that is going to help secure the game for you even in this late stages. As the first turret is looking to be pushed down onto both Oracle, Quasic, and Biteman Dog, they do secure the first kill. Very just looks to slow down the Arden is shut down. The suppressing fire is just trying his best, but the Hell's Heart does go on to the Saw. So it's just going to be shut down. No, he does Roddy Run out of the way by Oracle, and now Truth is just going to be shut down. No, Saw got taken out by the from Hell's Heart. Absolute damage coming out by Quasic because it is, like I said, it's a CP Ringo with Aftershock first item, which does make Ringo surprisingly strong. Aftershock is such a good first item, Cats and Pizza.
Especially on that Ringo, after he used his ult, there was so much damage from that. The Saw just couldn't get away. He was trying to make it back to base, but just burned. And the Aftershock helped the Ringo to kind of just cleaning up the other guys as well, making more damage. So it was a great first item, like you said.
Exactly, and good Smurf getting the flares out there, which is better stuff. Still doesn't have any it doesn't have any scout traps on the map on his side. And what I do find interesting about Biteman Dog, as Immense Gold Payout goes over to the side of GankedByParents, again securing their domination of the map. Again, one thing I'm surprised is Biteman Dog doesn't really have any direct vision himself out, which I'm not going to say is risky, but it shows that he has confidence that they're still able to dominate this match.
Mm-hmm. He's so around, just in every scene, kind of just lurking around in all the bushes. But I think once that Arden does get a contraption, he might have to get one of his own just to kind of keep up from getting caught out himself.
Yeah, but the X-Retsu went on to Oracle and just he's going to be able to have to go back, but now Quasic on the Ringo is just doing that good basic damage onto good Smurf with the Aftershock proc. And yeah, one thing is that the Flicker does have Atlas, which is going to be able to help shut down the Sword mode, but never mind the Saw because Taka was pointed out by Oracle, and now the Fairy Dust comes out to help secure the kill onto the Arden, and now this is just absolute domination. Ringo looks to shut down the Saw. Both are rooted by the mid-tree, but that doesn't stop Ringo getting the kill onto the Saw, and now Taka is shut down by the Taka is shut down by the crew. My humble apologies, guys. It is ace secured to GankedByParents. 14 kills to nothing. What is this dominance coming out by GankedByParents, Captain Pizza?
And almost a 10k gold lead there, so much dominance again coming out from GankedByParents. I think it was the Flicker Plague that I was a little bit skeptical about, but it's honestly very, very much helping them. Arden, how do you feel about him still not having contraptions? I've noticed he's been buying a lot of scouts, but almost filling up his kit with 5 at a time, which is a lot when you're trying to buy contraption.
It's just, X out are so starved, Cats and Pizza, that there's really kind of not much they can do because the From Hell's Heart goes on to Truth, and Truth, this kid is stunned up, and he is going to be taken out by the Flicker, and now they're going to go on to sort of taken out one by one. Good Smurf is going to be hit by Ringo, focus on with the Aftershock proc, and now Saw can do nothing because he's just going to be taken out by the crew. That's another H to GankedByParents in 11 minutes and 15 seconds. The choke turret is going to look to be pushed. They don't have a Crystal Sentry to eliminate because that's already been eliminated. Quasic is just going to look to seal the enemy jungle and starve X out even more. It's absolutely amazing stuff by GankedByParents, Captain Pizza.
Absolute dominance coming out for them. And I liked how in that last fight that Q kind of just took out the Arden. They had to kind of separate the Arden from the Sob, and Arden just couldn't do anything. He just couldn't walk anywhere. The Q was just consistently pinging him.
Absolutely fantastic sun going on the Iron is exposed by all three of Ganked by Parents, but now the gauntlet comes out. There's nothing Taka can do. Taka is just gonna get shut down by the Kaku, by both the Ringo and the Saw. And sorry, I'm just getting confused. I just don't know what to say anymore. Is there anything I need to say? Is just Ganked by Parents just dominating this match? I just feel like I should just let the action do the talking, Captain Pizza.
It's happening so quickly. I'm impressed at you even keeping up this much, but it looks like they're going to kind of go for the choke turret now with two of the other X-Out members down, and all of them are there just ready to push.
12k gold lead in 12 minutes. That is over a K a minute. That is just disgusting. Look at that damage coming out by the Ringo. Oh, he's stunned now again by from Hell's Heart. And now he's shut down. Now it's onto the Taka between the Flicker and the Cruel takes out the Taka. And it's going to be another kill. Double kill by Oracle. Total dominance by Ganked by Parents. This is going to be a 13-minute match. Game 2 by Ganked by Parents. They're just going to look to focus onto his Vein Crystal. Or are they even going to go onto the Saw? Are they feeling hungry? Yes, it looks like the crew is feeling hungry onto the Saw. As the Ringo and the Flicker just look to secure the Vein Crystal. And it's Game 2 over to Ganked by Parents. Domination personified.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I don't even think Oracle missed one of his ults. Every single ult that Cruel had, it stunned somebody, and it definitely made a huge impact every fight. That was a great.
Really did. That was really good point you make, Cats and Pizza. The From Hell's Heart was really decisive for Ganked by Parents, because yes, you can turn around and mention that, you know, they had a dominant advantage in game, but if you don't get off your abilities, you do risk yourself getting exposed, and getting off the From Hell's Heart onto any one of the enemy team really did make a difference and did help secure the game for Ganked by Parents. So look, you know, one thing I have heard is that X-Out aren't really very experienced team. What do you think, Cats and Pizza, they need to take away from this loss?
I think, honestly, a lot of confidence. It just seemed like the other team was very, very confident in their actions, just going into the other jungle and just consistently having just confidence in their fighting. Like we said with that one fight where they used Fountain and then backed off, they didn't feel as confident as the other team. And they really, really, I think that would be something to work on. Just kind of really asserting dominance, asserting yourself in the fold, and just pushing further.
Exactly, because one thing I say is that, you know, there's nothing wrong with losing a fight or losing a match, but what I feel is sometimes worse is losing a match or a fight when you don't have the confidence to go in on engagement. As in, when you're a team, if you engage on a fight and you lose that fight, there's a certain level of pride for your team that you've gone in on the engagement. But if you don't go in on the engagement and you still lose the fight, it's kind of like, oh, well, what do we do now kind of thing. So yes, that is a really good point you bring up, Cats and Pizzas, that they could do with working on their confidence.
Mm-hmm. And I think both of these teams were also in the same division, and I think from what I did see in the stats, that X-Out was at the bottom, so just a little bit of a difference there. So they obviously have, like you said, a newer team, and they're gonna just learning from other teams, getting that confidence, and would just be awesome to kind of keep going and learn more from others.
Of course, because, you know, I always like to think that you learn more from a loss than you do from a win, Cats and Pizza. If you just absorb everything that's been dealt to you, if you look back on the VOD, you look back on what the enemy team did differently than you that caused you to lose, you can kind of absorb that, take that on board, show it to the rest of your team and go, look, we should try this, we should practice this type of strategy, and then go into the next game and see if we can implement it and win.
Exactly. Just consistently learning, and you can always never stop learning. But if you're learning from other people and just kind of keeping up with the meta and what other people are building and what works for them, you can kind of figure out what works for you.
Exactly. So after that amazing bloodbath by Ganked by Parents, where they took a 2-0 win, That is going